3 engagements, 2 marriages, and at least 1 romance that Hollywood tried to bury. What really happened to Audrey Hepburn's walk down the aisle? Audrey Hepburn. The name alone conjures images of timeless elegance, sophistication, and grace. But behind the carefully crafted Hollywood icon was a woman who struggled with love, commitment, and the impossible choice between career and marriage. Today, we're diving into the untold story of Audrey's romantic life, including revelations from someone who worked behind the scenes during her golden years. Because the truth about her broken engagements, it's far more complex than anyone ever imagined. Born Audrey Kathleen Rustin in 1929 in Brussels, Belgium, Audrey grew up during one of history's darkest chapters. Her father abandoned the family when she was just 6 years old, an absence that would mark her for life. During the Nazi occupation of Holland, she and her mother faced hunger, fear, and even death. She witnessed executions, smuggled messages for the resistance, and survived on tulip bulbs when food ran out. Those scars never left her. Behind every smile was the memory of war. Behind every performance was a woman who had already survived more than most people do in a lifetime. Before she ever set foot in Hollywood, she dreamed of being a ballerina. But her wartime malnutrition weakened her body, forcing her to abandon that path. Acting, at first, was a consolation, and then her destiny. By 1953, Roman Holiday made her an overnight star. At just 24, she was Hollywood's new queen. But fame came with a cost. The same studios that adored her also wanted to own her. They crafted her image carefully, the graceful, delicate Audrey, untouched by scandal. And in that image, there was little room for love. So let's start with the men we know, and the ones history chose to forget. In December 1952, Audrey Hepburn became engaged to James Hanson, a wealthy British businessman. He was charming, intelligent, and deeply devoted to her. The engagement was public, the newspapers announced it, and her dress was designed by the legendary Fontana sisters in Rome. But before the ceremony could take place, Audrey hesitated. Her career was exploding, and she knew what marriage meant for women in the 1950s. Studios expected wives to retire. Directors wanted actresses, with no distractions. So she made the most difficult decision of her life. She ended it. She later said, "When I get married, I want to stay married." Those words weren't cold, they were honest. She knew she couldn't give Hanson the time and stability he deserved. That canceled wedding dress would later become famous for another reason. Audrey donated it to a stranger, a young Italian woman who couldn't afford her own. It was her way of transforming heartbreak into kindness, something that would define her forever. Now we enter the territory that few have dared to explore, the romances that never made it into the official record. According to a confidential source, a former manager who worked closely with Audrey during the 1950s and early 1960s, there were at least 2 hidden engagements. Both were genuine. Both were doomed. Before her marriage to actor Mel Ferrer, Audrey reportedly had a serious relationship with a British heir connected to the shipping industry. The manager claims they were quietly engaged for a few months. Audrey believed she had found stability after the chaos of fame. But Hollywood had other plans. Paramount executives allegedly told her bluntly that she was too valuable to be a married woman. A husband, they argued, would make her less appealing to audiences. The studio's publicists began planting stories in the press, stories portraying her as the single, sophisticated star. Under that pressure, the engagement collapsed. The man withdrew, humiliated. Audrey, heartbroken, threw herself into work. Weeks later, she met Mel Ferrer, an older, respected actor who the industry embraced. It was a relationship that seemed safe, strategic, even fated, but not without cost. The same manager also claims that around 1961, during the filming of The Children's Hour, Audrey grew close to a European aristocrat she met through diplomatic events. Their connection was intellectual, spiritual, built on shared compassion for humanity. Audrey had begun to feel trapped in her marriage to Ferrer, whose controlling personality clashed with her gentle nature. The aristocrat offered her freedom, but that freedom came with a dark underside. He was allegedly facing financial ruin and political scandal, something that could destroy her reputation overnight. Once again, Audrey walked away before the secret became public. To outsiders, she remained the perfect wife and star. To those who knew her, she was a woman quietly breaking inside, torn between the image she represented and the life she longed to live. So why did it keep happening? Why did every engagement, every marriage, every attempt at lasting love seem to crumble? The answer lies in the collision between fame, control, and Audrey's need for freedom. In 1950s Hollywood, studios didn't just manage their stars, they owned them. Their contracts dictated every photo, every public appearance, even their private relationships. Audrey's public image was a commodity, carefully sculpted to maintain perfection. She was told what to wear, how to speak, and even who to be seen with. Falling in love with the wrong man could cost millions in ticket sales. So when she followed her heart, it often meant defying the system, and the system always won. But beyond the machinery of fame, there was also Audrey's own fear. After her father's abandonment, she struggled deeply with trust. She once admitted she had an instinct for self-preservation when it came to love. It wasn't coldness, it was survival. Her 2 marriages proved that pattern. Mel Ferrer was brilliant but demanding, often jealous of her fame. Andrea Ditti, the Italian psychiatrist she married in 1969, adored her but was unfaithful. Audrey longed for peace, yet love always seemed to bring conflict. And through it all, she carried one belief: that love should never come at the cost of dignity. Even when it hurt, she walked away before she lost herself. After years of heartbreak, Audrey finally found what she had always wanted: serenity. In 1980, she began her relationship with Dutch actor Robert Wolders, the widower of actress Merle Oberon. They never married, and they didn't need to. Audrey often said those years were the happiest of her life. She left Hollywood behind, focused on her children and humanitarian work, and devoted her time to UNICEF. When asked if she regretted never marrying again, she smiled and said, "I have a man who loves me, children who adore me, and a cause that gives my life meaning. What else could I want?" Wolders stayed by her side until her final days. When she passed away in 1993, he said simply, "It was the best time of my life." 40 years after her passing, Audrey Hepburn remains one of Hollywood's most enduring symbols of beauty and compassion. But her romantic story is not one of tragedy, it's one of evolution. She wasn't the victim of bad luck or cold ambition. She was a woman navigating an industry that wanted to own her and a world that didn't know how to handle women who refused to be owned. The fiancés, the marriages, the heartbreak, they weren't failures. They were the price of freedom. Each time she walked away, she walked closer to herself. And in the end, Audrey found what so many seek but few ever do: peace without dependence, love without possession, and purpose without compromise. She may have been Hollywood's princess, but in truth, she was something much rarer: a queen who ruled her own heart. So what do you think? Was Audrey Hepburn ahead of her time, or a product of it? Leave your thoughts below. And if you love the untold stories behind Hollywood's greatest icons, make sure to subscribe, because in this channel, every legend hides a secret, and every secret tells us something about who they really were. Thanks for watching. More Hollywood secrets coming soon.